Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Nu știu încă de unde am venit, ce caut aici. Plecam cu coada între picioare, acum mă scap de afiș. N-aveam răbdare să ascult deloc, acum taci și răspund după ce înțeleg ce-ai zis. Se simte timpul cum trece sau noi cum trece prin timp. Trăiesc momentul de față ca să-mi creez amintiri. Țin de familie, de prieteni, de cine-i loial. Restul voia sorții sus, mă cheamă propriul destin. Totuși te simt, o singură șansă avem cu sorii. Sipim focul deschis, e mult mai greu când ai un scop de atins. Te uiți pe lângă tine, vezi cine a supraviețuit. Câți din ei se luptă să trăiască cum ar trebui. O inimă mare, doi plămâni ca să respir. O inimă mare, mă inspiră zi de zi. Fă din șansa ta un vis, fă din șansa ta un vis împlinit. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Ce ale, nu știu ce să aleg. Dar ce ale. Nu te teme de moarte că nu-ți mai trăiești viața. Pune zâmbetul pe față dimineața. Du-te, ia legume fresh, fă-ți viața. Pune doar ce trebuie în trupul ăla ca un rasa. Niște mișcare ca să ungă carcasa. Binecuvântare nu e lumea prea razna. Alegerile noastre ne fac să simțim asta. Atât de multe drumuri eu, de alei. Dar ce alei.
Știi, avem o singură viață și nu
știu
prea
ce să aleg.
merită să ne stresăm în fiecare zi pentru toate mizeriile.
Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. One life. Learn it, love it, live it. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Nu știu încă de unde am venit, ce caut aici. Plecam cu coada între picioare, acum mă scap de afiș. N-aveam răbdare să ascult deloc, acum taci și răspund după ce înțeleg ce-ai zis. Se simte timpul cum trece sau noi cum trece prin timp. Trăiesc momentul de față ca să-mi creez amintiri. Țin de familie, de prieteni, de cine-i loial. Restul voia sorții sus, mă cheamă propriul destin. Totuși te simt, o singură șansă avem cu sorii. Sipim focul deschis, e mult mai greu când ai.
And welcome everyone to another deadline stream on this channel. Welcome everyone, good afternoon, good evening. Better said, thanks a lot for joining so early, really appreciate it. How are you guys? How are you? Just came back from work, hopefully everyone is doing fine. Let me just not forget to start the countdown because we are exactly 2 hours till deadline, because otherwise I'm just going to forget about it. So yeah, 2 hours till the deadline. How are you? Now we can talk a little bit, and then yeah, we're going to discuss about my moves. Also make sure to send me your teams if you want on Twitter. You have the links in my description. Sorry, I'm going to give you a link also to um, my Twitter. My older account got hacked, so if you don't know that already, I have a new one. So yeah, that's why I put there the description. Hi Harshi, hi Jeremy Baker. Thanks a lot for joining. Hopefully you can hear me. Yeah, okay, it's looking all right. This time you can hear me okay. Um, well done. Thanks a lot, Jeremy Baker. I'm not sure why you why are you congratulating me, but thanks a lot. Thanks for joining. Hi, Dennis. How are you, bro? Uh, real fine. Just came back from work. A little bit tired, obviously, after this day, but finally it's Friday at least. So yeah, the weekend is on. Fantasy Premier League is on. Good. Um, Hi, should I start Munoz, Hall, or Anderson? So Hall against Everton, Anderson against Spurs. I would start Hall. If if that Hall is Hall from Newcastle, then I would start him against Everton. I think uh, Anderson is never a bad option to start, but I just think that Newcastle have a better fixture at home against Everton than Fulham against Spurs. Now it's not such a big difference actually, but I would start Hall. For the attacking potential. Jack, thanks also a lot for joining. Hi, Kirari, sorry, thanks a lot for joining. Really good to see you. Yeah, how are you guys? I started already with showing you my team. Welcome to Fun with Flags, actually, this week. Again, my luck this season was, I don't know. I bought Florian Wirtz last game week. He got injured in the warm-ups, and now he's going to miss this game also against West Ham at home. So, yeah, what an amazing transfer for me. Hi Dennis, I need to remove Timber and Wirtz. Do you think going for Konate, I already have Van Dijk and Mbeumo, I already have Bruno Fernandes, is a good idea? Or do you think going for Wilson is better than Mbeumo? Personally, probably I would go for Harry Wilson. Now, talking about Florian Wirtz, I might end up myself keeping him because I think that my team can cope with me just benching Wirtz. Uh, Probably the smartest decision would be to just sell Florian Wirtz, but I just suspect that he's going to be all right at some point. I just don't want to make a lot of transfers with players who are probably likely to play in Gaming 31. Now we're going to discuss about the press conference from Arne Slot. He said that he doesn't know when Florian Wirtz is going to be back, so that doesn't help at all. That doesn't help me at all. But I might end up just keeping him and reassess next game week. But if you want to sell Florian Wirtz, I totally agree. I don't think that's a bad decision or anything like that. Uh, so going for Konate, going with double Liverpool defense, I'm not sure if it's worth it. Now, again, you have already Virgil van Dijk. You have better options than Konate, I think, in Soboslai and even Ekitike. But again, probably maybe you don't have the money to go for Ekitike. It's not the end of the world if you want to go for Konate, but I'm not sure if I would double up on Liverpool defense. Personally, and yeah, you have Bruno Fernandes is not a problem if you want to double up on Manchester United, but I just don't think that the fixtures are that good for Man United. I think that I would go for Harry Wilson. I think that probably we're going to get a lot of questions about cheap midfielders today. Personally, I think that Harry Wilson is the best one, the best cheap midfielder you can go for. Uh, Overall, if we compare Harry Wilson to Dango, to Shade, to Soboslai, to Tavernier, to Ryan, I think that Harry Wilson probably is the smartest buy from all these midfielders. So yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea to double up on Man United with Mbeumo. Now, I think that Brian Mbeumo is a slightly maybe better pick than Wilson, but it also really depends what you're going to do with the money because Harry Wilson is a lot more cheaper than Mbeumo, obviously. So yeah, hi Ridwan, hi Bercules, thanks a lot for joining. Ahil Syed, really good to see you guys again. How are you? And thanks a lot for joining the stream. Start Krupi or Munoz. I would start Krupi probably. At the moment, I'm starting Munoz in my team, but that's because my defense is terrible, so that's why he's starting. Uh, Now with Krupi, read one, there is a risk, obviously, but you know that because you have Krupi, so he could start, he could be on the bench. He's not going to play probably 90 minutes for Bournemouth, but he has a good fixture, and I think that I would risk it probably. Now with Crystal Palace, I'm expecting Man United to score in this fixture, but I still think that Munoz is a really good attacking threat anyway. But probably between Krupi, Munoz, probably I would risk it with Krupi, but if you don't want to take any risks, just play Munoz. He's still okay. Anyway, hey Dennis, should I get Sobo instead of Dango? Now, yeah, Hercules, as I said before, we're going to get probably a lot of questions about cheap midfielders. It's such, they are so similar. Dango, Shade, Soboslai. Now Tavernier is coming back from an injury, so maybe let's not put Tavernier into this conversation. Ryan, Harry Wilson, all these players are really close. Now you're asking me between Soboslai and Dango. Personally, yeah, that's a tough question. I'm also a Liverpool fan. It's more likely now that Soboslai is going to play as a number 10, or anyway, he's going to play in midfield. Frimpong is back in training. I'm not sure if he's going to start, but Joe Gomez is also there, so he could play as a right back. And I think that they're going to try to play Soboslai in midfield. Now, Soboslai is not such a bad option, even if he's going to play as a right back. Compared Soboslai to Dango, I think that he's the safest pick. If you want to take a little bit of risk, go for Dango. The fixtures are probably a little bit better for Brentford, but Dango is also probably not likely to play 90 minutes every game. He has that slight risk attached to him. If you want to go super safe, just go for Soboslai. If you want me to give you some pros to try to convince you to go for Soboslai instead of Dango, he's... Soboslai is on set pieces. Obviously, you know that he's really good on free kicks. Also, he's the best player from Liverpool this season, so I don't need to argue too much about that. If you want to go for Soboslai, go. If you don't have the money, if you want to save up some money for future plans, future transfers, go for Dango. I think that both of them are pretty good. Now with the Wirtz injury, obviously that makes Soboslai a much better pick than before, let's say, because probably he's going to be more offensive now. Have Ekitike already. In that case, Kirori, you could go for Soboslai, but again, if you want to sell a defender, if you want to sell Timber, I mean, it's not a rush to sell Timber if you don't want to do that. There are other options in defense. Hill from Bournemouth, Anderson from Fulham, Chow from Newcastle. All these defenders are good. Instead of going for Konate, probably I would just go for Chow, Hill, or Anderson. Hi bro, how you doing, bro? Should I captain Salah, Ekitike, or Thiago? So if you don't want to captain Haaland, if you don't want to captain Bruno Fernandes, then let's talk about Salah, Ekitike, Thiago. If we're talking about a Liverpool player, I think that if I had Mohamed Salah, probably I would go for him, mostly because he's on penalties instead of going for Ekitike. Now, Mohamed Salah versus Igor Thiago, yeah, that's a really tough question. I don't want to try to convince you on which player to captain. If you want to captain Mohamed Salah, you need to know that he's not in his best form. He's having his worst season probably since he came to play for Liverpool. It's a risk. It's definitely a risk to go for Mohamed Salah. The fixture is good. The same for Thiago. If you want to go safe, just go for Igor Thiago, who's on penalties. You know that he's going to play 90 minutes probably, in better form probably than Mohamed Salah. But if you want to go different, yeah, captaining Salah, I don't think that's the worst decision. But what I want to say to you is that probably I think that I would rather captain Erling Haaland or Bruno Fernandes instead of captaining Mohamed Salah. Ahil Sayed. Bro, O'Reilly in for Chaloba and Ekitike in for Bowen. If you want to go for O'Reilly, just go for O'Reilly. I think that is a good option. Now, bear in mind, he could blank in Game Week 31, as everyone knows. But if you don't have Virgil van Dijk, I would be tempted to just go for Chalobah, from Chalobah to Van Dijk, and Ekitike in for Bowen. Yeah, I like. If you don't want to go for Thiago, again, or if you have already Thiago in your team, then Bowen to Ekitike, yeah, looks fine. There aren't a lot of good strikers in FPL at the moment. Sherab, thanks a lot for joining. Rogers, Rice to Dango, and Strand Larsen to Thiago, and play Krupp or Sar. I would play Sar definitely. If you're talking about Ismaila Sar from Crystal Palace, I would definitely play Sar. He could be also on penalties. And Rogers, Rice, which one to sell to Dango? Probably I would sell Rice personally, because Rogers has a fixture in Game Week 31. Now, guys, it really depends also on your strategy. If your team is fine for Game Week 31, if you don't want to wildcard in Game Week 32, it really depends on your team strategy. But I would rather just sell Rice than Rogers to Dango, because at least Rogers has a fixture and a really good fixture in Game Week 31. Then Strand Larsen to Thiago. Yeah, I don't necessarily think that Strand Larsen is a no-brainer sell, but yeah, if we're talking about Igor Thiago, yeah, I would sell Strand Larsen to Thiago. Bro, our UEFA Champions League draw is very bad after Galatasaray. Yeah, we got the bad path in Champions League, but yeah, it is what it is. At the end of the day, if you want to win the Champions League, you need to beat the best teams anyway. So yeah, again, maybe a revenge against PSG for Liverpool. Who knows? Let's see what's going to happen. Let's first just talk about Galatasaray, and then we can discuss about Chelsea or Paris Saint-Germain. Sobo might be on DEFCON as well. Yeah, in midfield, again, if Soboslai is going to play as a right back, he's more likely to get DEFCON. If he's going to play in midfield, he's not that good at DEFCON, but he's definitely a player who can get defensive contribution. Soboslai. So yeah, again, I envy everyone who who didn't go for Wirtz like me, and they can just go for Soboslai, but yeah, Soboslai looks like a great pick. Now, bear in mind, guys, Soboslai is not going to score screamers every game week, or maybe he will, but again, he's a decent pick. He's not an exciting pick. He's not, I don't know, he's not someone like Dango or, I don't know, other players, Ryan. He's not such an exciting pick, but he's a nailed one. He's the best Liverpool player. He's on set pieces, decent for DEFCON. We know that he can score screamers. So yeah, he's a decent pick. Nothing more than that. Hi Yukesh Edis, thanks a lot for joining. Thanks Dennis, always helpful. Bercules, thanks a lot for joining the stream, really appreciate it. Hopefully it's going to be helpful for you a little bit, my advices. Now, I don't know, I just feel like this season I don't know, this season is not the best for me. Maybe I'm not happy where I'm at, but at the same time, I think that there are people who are doing even worse than me, so it's not the end of the world. My rank 144k is not amazing, but it's not that bad. But I just, I don't know, maybe I'm not the best person to give advice this year, but I'm still trying to do that. So yeah, Yukesh edits. Hey Dennis, I got Kelleher, Gabriel, Konate. Let me just move my laptop a little bit. Kelleher, Gabriel, Konate, Senesi, Cash, Bruno, Rogers, Wilson, Soboslai, Dango, and Haaland. I bought Kelleher, Konate, and Dango in for 3 free transfer. Thoughts? I like Kelleher, Konate. Yeah, I like your moves. I like your moves. Again, Konate is a cheaper alternative to Virgil van Dijk. If you don't have the money to go for Virgil van Dijk, I think that he's okay. I think that he's really similar to Virgil van Dijk, honestly. But yeah, your team looks great, Yukesh Ed. It's yeah, not too much to discuss about that. It's okay. But my team, for what's worth, was looking okay also last game week. In the last 2 game weeks, my team was looking okay, and I got 2 terrible game weeks. So yeah. Salutare, George Gica, thanks a lot for joining the stream. Hopefully you're doing fine. Oh yeah, I'm also 70 points behind my friend in my mini league. I think I need a captain differential. Any thoughts on this, mate? There are a lot of differentials you can captain this game week, starting from maybe not Erling Haaland, but Bruno Fernandes, Ekitike, Igor Thiago, Mohamed Salah, if you have him, there are a lot of good captains. Now, Ekitike is an interesting one. I kept an Ekitike for some gamings, and I think that I'm just going to go for I'm just going to go with the robot this gaming with Erling Haaland. But Ekitike is an interesting one. Fernandes is an interesting one. There are a lot of good captaincy options this gaming. So it really depends which players you have, Yukesh. Now you have Bruno probably. If your friend is going to captain Haaland, you could just go for Bruno if you want to go different. But you don't need to go different just for the sake of it. I feel like I need to repeat myself with this advice. If you think that Haaland is going to outscore Bruno Fernandes, you can captain Erling Haaland. Obviously, 17 points is kind of nothing in a mini league. You can get those points in just 1 week, considering maybe you have also some chips left to play. So don't go risky just for the sake of it, because if your friend in the mini league is going to do well with the captaincy and you're going to fail with Bruno Fernandes, then yeah, the distance is just going to get bigger. So try to try to be close to that friend, and with the chips, yeah, you can outscore him easily. 17 points is nothing. Hi Dennis, start Enzo or Krupi. Hi Sean, thanks a lot for joining. Enzo or Krupi, probably Krupi, probably Krupi. And Chaloba or Munoz. 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 I think that I will start Munoz now. Chaloba is more likely to get you defensive contributions, but I don't know. I just don't think that Chelsea are going to keep a clean sheet against Arsenal now. No, it is possible, but Chelsea didn't keep a lot of clean sheets in the last 4 or 5 gamings, and they played against weaker sides. So yeah, Chaloba is likely going to get you 3, maybe 4 points, but I would go for Daniel Munoz probably for the differential. Hi FPL Kevi, thanks a lot for joining. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Just came back from work. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. A little bit tired, but happy that it's finally Friday, and yeah, we can enjoy some Premier League football this week. Hopefully, uh, hopefully a green arrow. The last 2 gamings were horrible for me, so yeah, hopefully I can improve on that a little bit. Radu Gaviluca, we're going to take a look at your team in a minute. Let me just try to read all the comments, and then yeah, I saved your ID. Thanks a lot for joining also, Radu. My front 8 is Bruno, Semenyo, Rice, Sar, Anderson, Haaland, Ekitike, Thiago. Would you do Sar to Wilson or Dango? So Sar to Wilson or Dango? Wilson. I think that Wilson is the smartest, safest option from all those cheap midfielders. Now, it really depends. If you want to go a little bit different, you could go for Dango. But if you ask me which one of them I think that is the better pick, probably Harry Wilson. But I might as well just go for Dango for the differential thing there. If yes, who would you bench, Rice or Anderson? Probably, I think that I would bench Elliot Anderson and start Declan Rice if you're going to keep him. My team for today, any suggestions? Have 2 free transfers, Verbruggen, Gabriel, Virgil van Dijk, Chow, nice defense, O'Reilly also, Bruno Fernandes, Mbeumo, Rice, Njae, Haaland, Thiago, bench Dubravka, Enzo, Alderete, Mane. With 2 free transfers, honestly, I think that you can roll with that team. I think that's a really good team. Now, if you want to spend the goalkeeper transfer, probably is not worth it. Kedar not full, I would say. Bruno Fernandes and Mbeumo, Rice and Jay, all these players are good. If you want to sell Rice or Njay, probably Rice, right? Because Njay is going to play against Burnley next game week, I think. If you want to sell Rice to Wilson to Dango, that's fine. But I think that that team is really rollable. And just look what I did last game week. I sold Raya to Kelleher. I sold Rice to Florian Wirtz, and now he got injured. Now I wish I had Declan Rice back in my team and one free transfer again. So yeah, your team looks okay. They're not full. I don't think that I would do any transfer personally. Send you my team on Twitter. We're going to take a look at that. Also, guys, don't forget, send me your teams on Twitter, and we're going to take a look at them in a minute. Hi, Herlos Vile, thanks a lot for joining. No, not have the funds for Van Dijk, but considering Hill to have some extra money in the bank. Yeah, we're going to take a look at your team, Harshi. Hi, Denis. Hi, STXR. Thanks a lot for joining. Really good to see you here. Who should I prioritize playing over Wirtz, Bowen, or Ballard? I have two Liverpool defenders in Alisson and Van Dijk. That's nice. So I was leaning against Bowen. I love Bowen though. I mean, Wirtz is going to be out. FPL Cavi, Wirtz is going to be out for this gaming. So yeah, he's going to be on your bench anyway. Wirtz is going to be on your bench. So that's one problem solved. Ballard versus Bowen. Probably I would start Ballard, honestly, but I get your idea. Bowen, yeah, good for DEFCON. The only striker in the game who's good for DEFCON. He's playing against Liverpool, but you have a double up for Liverpool, so you don't really want Bowen to score, right? Um, if we take them individually, probably I would say that Bowen is a slightly better pick than Ballard, but actually I think that I would start Ballard. Ballard is also good for DEFCON against Bournemouth away. Maybe they're not going to keep a clean sheet, Sunderland, but Ballard has really good attacking threat, and he's also really good for defensive contributions. So probably I would bench Bowen in that case, Bowen and Wirtz, but yeah, Wirtz is going to be out anyway. Hey Dennis, how was your week? Horrible, Haraldsvire. Thanks a lot for asking. Now, in terms of FPL, was horrible. Otherwise, it was okay. Uh, but yeah, my week was horrible because I obviously sold Declan Rice to Florian Wirtz. He missed. He got injured in the warm up, and now he's also going to be out for this gaming. So yeah, what an amazing transfer from me. But yeah, I think that this was just really unlucky for me. So yeah. Now, real short, let's. Thanks. Sorry, I worded it badly. I know Wirtz is out. I just meant who over the injured Wirtz. Oh, okay. Sorry. I was confused a little bit, Kevi. No problem. No problem at all. Um, so yeah, instead of Wirtz, yeah, as I said before, Ballard. Probably I would play Ballard. Also considering that you have double Liverpool defense. Hopefully for you and for me as a Liverpool fan, Liverpool are going to keep a clean sheet. So yeah, good luck this game, FPL Cavi. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. Also, guys, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. It would be really much appreciated. Now, real short, let's take a look at Radu's team. This is my team. So this is your team, Radu. Straight away, looking at the team, Timber to Van Dijk. If you have the transfer, if you want to do the move, obviously, I think that's a pretty good transfer. Timber is going to blank in Gaming 31. Van Dijk has decent fixtures now and in 31. Yeah, I would probably do Timber to Van Dijk. Other than that, Palmer is not a must sell, but anyway, if you want to sell Palmer, that's perfectly fine. So yeah, it really depends how many free transfers you have, how many transfers you want to do. You have a lot of players who are going to blank in Gaming 31. So yeah, Timber, Mane have to go. Here you're going to play Ryan, obviously, over Mane. Mukiele also is going to be out, so that's really not amazing for you. 3 free transfers. Okay, so you could do. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players who are kind of going to miss gaming 31, so you should try to probably I would sell Timber to Van Dijk as I said before. Then yeah, if you wanna, your defense is fine for this week, perfectly fine. I would then either sell Rice or Palmer, whichever midfielder you want, to I don't know, Harry Wilson, Brian Mbeumo, Dango, Shade, all these players are really good. So yeah, it's up to you pretty much what you're going to do. Ahoy, any chance McAllister plays in the 10? Chad Scott, yeah, I mean, there's a chance, I guess, because Wirtz is going to be out. Now, we don't know exactly how Liverpool are going to line up since Wirtz played almost every gaming, but yeah, obviously there is a chance. There's a chance. McAllister played in a game, played a game in the Champions League as a number 10 some months ago. Soboslai, Gravenberg may play a little bit more deeper. Gravenberg, of course, is going to play a little bit more deeper, and Soboslai, McAllister probably are going to play a little bit more advanced. But again, I don't think that McAllister is such an amazing FPL option if you're thinking about buying him anyway. Should I also sell Chalobah or Sanchez? Personally, I don't think that I would do it, because if you have to play, let's say Sanchez against Aston Villa, against Newcastle, it's okay. I don't think that's worth a transfer personally. I know that Chelsea were pretty bad defensive wise, but Sanchez has a good fixture in Gaming 31, and in the first place he has a fixture at least in Gaming 31. So Everton away is okay. So I don't think that I would sell your goalkeepers. It's perfectly fine. And more than that, probably I would sell Chalobah rather than to sell a goalkeeper. So Timber to Van Dijk, Chalobah to Chow, Hill, or maybe you don't want to double up on Bournemouth. You could go for Anderson. Yeah, Hill, Chow, other defenders. Rodon is okay after this fixture. But yeah, Chalobah is not a must sell this game. If you can have Chalobah on your bench, you can just reassess next gaming. It's better if you don't need that player. Who are you going to sell Chalobah to? Then don't sell Chalobah this gaming. Just reassess next gaming, because some players could get injured, and it's better to just wait. So yeah, as I said before, with your team, I would sell Timber to Van Dijk. If you want, you can maybe upgrade yeah, you don't have the money for Dango, sadly, or for Harry Wilson, so you can't really upgrade Garner, but Garner is also okay as a defensive contribution player. So yeah, or you could do, I don't know, Mukiele is also going to be out, so at some point you need to sell him. But yeah, you got my idea. I did Wirtz to Sobo. Good transfer. Chad Scott. Again, I might end up just keeping Wirtz, but at the moment I just I think that I'm going to keep him for this gaming and reassess next gaming. I want to see more information for that injury. Frank O'Brien, thanks a lot for joining. Sorry for not answering your questions faster. Gabriel Hill, Virgil, O'Reilly, Munoz. Bench three. Okay, so I would play Gabriel Hill, Van Dijk, O'Reilly. Definitely. I would bench Munoz in that case. Munoz, Enzo. I would bench Munoz, Enzo, and João Pedro probably. Again, maybe it sounds a little bit crazy to bench João Pedro considering how good he was, but he's going to play against Arsenal away, the toughest fixture he's going to get all season. So yeah, I would definitely bench Enzo and Munoz, and then between João Pedro and let's say Hill, probably I would just play Hill ahead of João Pedro personally. Thank you, no problem, Radu. Thanks a lot for joining. Really appreciate it. Now, guys, yeah, let's see if you send me some teams. Thanks a lot for also following me on Twitter. So just Harshi, send me your a team. If you guys want to send me your teams on Twitter, feel free to do so. Should I also sell Chaloba? Okay, Ahoy, any chance? Yeah, I answer all that questions. Call 95, 94, thanks a lot for joining. Ryan or Tavernier, and why? I would go for Ryan. And to tell you why, it's because Tavernier just came back from an injury. If Tavernier was not injured and he was 100% fit, I think that Tavernier, I would just buy him now because he's probably on penalties, on some set piece. He's good for DEFCON. He's likely to play good minutes for Bournemouth. But because he played just 10 or 15 minutes in the last game week, I'm just not sure if he's going to start the next two, both of them. So I would go for Ryan easily just because of that. Hi, I also buy Ryan. Hope he can get a goal. Hopefully for you, AB. Yeah, I thought also about Ryan. I think that I'm just going to go for Dango personally in my team. I think that he has that fixture against Burnley right around the corner, so that's why I'm more likely to go for Dango. But all these cheap midfielders are good. If you ask me, yeah, I think that Harry Wilson is the best. Hi, Luca De Gabriel. Thanks a lot for joining. Which one of these moves should I do? Tarkovsky out for Van Dijk or Guyu for Thiago? Guyu for Thiago, definitely. I think that Tarkovsky has a fixture against Burnley in the next few weeks, so I would keep Tarkovsky. Um, and I would go Guyu for Thiago. I think that Thiago is a better pick than Virgil van Dijk personally, but let's see what's going to happen. Going for will Tavernier play ahead of Ryan or will Tavernier go in behind Evan Nistel? That's a really tough question to ask. That's one reason why I'm not sure if I want to go for a Bournemouth attacker because they have so many options. And personally, yeah, nobody knows how they're going to line up. I think that Tavernier and Ryan personally are both going to be in the strongest lineup for Bournemouth. I think that both of them are going to play. I don't think that they play the same position. So therefore I think that both of them have a good chance of playing. But yeah, I would go for Ryan if you want to pick from those two. Hi, Ibrahim Ayali. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Thanks a lot for asking. Yeah, really good. Just came back from work. Hopefully we can get a good week finally after two horrible game weeks for me. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. How are you also? UK Shadis, Dennis, your deadline timer on the stream is 1 hour and 28 minutes, but it's actually 1 hour and 42. Really? Really? I think that's okay. It's 6:30, the deadline. Yeah. Or yeah, it's wrong. Yeah. You're right, you're right. We have more than 1 hour and 26 minutes. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to turn it down. Thanks a lot for pointing out. I'm not sure why. Uh yeah, I started it a little bit earlier. Good. Thanks a lot for pointing out. Tavernier or Ryan or Soboslai. Personally, I would go for Soboslai if you want to go for a Liverpool player. That's what I thought. What's your Twitter? I'll drop my team. You have the links in my description, but I'm just going to put a link here also. I like Semenyo. Will City finish strong? Rate Pep press Haaland somewhere before Madrid. Yeah, they have that leg against Real Madrid just be between a game against West Ham, I think, in game week 30. So we could see some rotation for Manchester City, but bear in mind, guys, Man City are still fighting for the league. So yeah, I'm not sure how much rotation are going to see. Definitely, Semenyo is one of the best players at the moment for Manchester City, but you never know with Pep. Hi, Ukzizu. Play Timber on Varhek this week. Van Heck is playing against Forest. I would play personally Timber still. I still think that Timber is a better pick than Van Heck if you're going to keep him. No problem, Dennis. You know I got you, bro. I want the best for you, and I want your channel to succeed. Thanks a lot, Yukesh Edits. Really appreciate the support. Really means a lot. Uh, it's already it already means a lot for because you guys turned up every deadline stream, so it really means a lot, and it's really helpful for my channel also. So yeah, thanks for that. Hi Haletino. I've got O'Reilly, Semenyo, Haaland, Rice, Ron Larson. What should I do? What transfers? I mean, Haletino, thanks a lot for joining the stream. If you're if you can line up 11 playing players, I wouldn't take a hit personally. I didn't take a hit personally to uh, remove Mukiele or any other players like Rice, Ron Larson, Gabriel. They are fine players. Also Semenyo, O'Reilly, Haaland. So I would just roll if you don't have any free transfers. If you can line up 11 players. I followed you, Dennis. Thanks a lot, Cole94. Thanks a lot. If you're the first time here on the stream, really appreciate for you to turn on it. Thanks a lot. Hi mate, which two players would you start between Rice, Gay, Anderson from Fulham? I would definitely start Gay and Rice versus Anderson. I would start Rice, I think. Yeah. I would start Rice and Gay, personally. Hi honey, I am. Thanks a lot for joining. Shade or Soboslai. For this gaming, I prefer Shade, but there's a little bit of a risk attached to that. He didn't start last gaming. Now I'm expecting Shade to be back in the starting 11 against Burnley, but if you want to go save Soboslai, if not, I like more Shade for the attacking threat. But as I said before, the safest pick is Soboslai. Who would you consider on free hit? The Windler Poons. Now, on the free hit, I don't think that this is the best week to free hit for what's worth if you're asking me. But three players from Burnley, Thiago Dango, Kelleher probably. Then Soboslai, Ekitike, Van Dijk. So you have 6 already. Then Ryan, Senesi Hill from Bournemouth. So you have 8. Other than that, Chow probably from Newcastle. Maybe Gordon if you want to take a punt. Probably I would take Gordon also on a free hit. So yeah, pretty much that's it. You have 10. Maybe Rogers, maybe Watkins, maybe not Watkins though. So yeah, pretty much that's it. I would go for Gordon probably against Everton. I would go also for Semenyo, Haaland definitely, and maybe O'Reilly. But I said too many players, right, for free. So yeah, just pick from those. Just pick from those players. So this team is for Harshi. Let me just look a little bit at the team, and then I'm going to talk to you about my plans, and we're going to answer more questions. But first, send me your teams on Twitter if you want me to rate them on the screen. 1 free transfers and 0 in the bank. All right, so you have Chaloba, Anderson, Gabriel, Esteve, Diouf. Yeah, you have a pretty bad defense, just like me. Harshi, Wilson, Mbeumo, Fernandes, Enzo, Rogers, Thiago, Haaland. So the priorities here, you have, again, for the blank, you're going to have Gabriel and Haaland. So you don't have a lot of players who are going to blank, but you don't have amazing players like Diouf, Esteve, and Raul Jimenez. For what's worth here, I would start Raul Jimenez ahead of Enzo Fernandez for sure. I would start Raul Jimenez here instead of Enzo. Enzo would be probably just after Esteve on the bench. So yeah, Chaloba to Van Dijk, but you don't have any money, so you can't do that. You have just 1 free transfer. Yeah, tricky question. Definitely, I would sell a defender probably from those defenders. If you want to sell Diouf to heal, if you want to sell Vesteve to heal, that's perfectly fine. Can I send my team? Of course, Ibrahim Ali. Of course, you can send me your team on Twitter. Everyone can send me uh, his team. I'm going to rate all the teams. Obviously, if we have the time. So yeah, here I would start Raul Jimenez instead of Enzo and sell Chalobah or Diouf to heal because you don't have the money for Van Dijk, or you could go for Konate if you really want to go for a Liverpool player. But yeah, I don't think that I would take a hit to sell Enzo to Dango or anyone. I think that Enzo is okay. Um, so yeah, guys, just send me your teams here. Let me see if you. Hello Zvile, send me his team here. Hey Dennis, bench Kelleher or Verbruggen, Captain Thiago, Ekitike or Haaland. I think that Haaland. I know really good what happened in the reverse fixture because I triple captain Erling Haaland against Leeds at home when he blanked. Of course, he was horrible against Leeds in the reverse fixture, but I'm just not sure if it's going to be the same. Now, Leeds are a good team at home. I'm not saying otherwise, but I'm just going to go for Erling Haaland. City are fighting for the title. I can see this game being cagey. I can see this game if Haaland is going to score 2 or 3 goals. That wouldn't be a surprise at all. So probably for me, I'm just going to play it safe and boring with captaining Haaland. But if you want to go for, if not, Ekitike and Thiago are both really good captaincy options. So yeah. Kelleher or Verbruggen. Here I have to say that I'm going to play Kelleher. I'm going to play the goalkeeper who's going to play against Burnley any time of the week, any game of the week. So yeah, although Verbruggen has a decent fixture also himself against Nottingham Forest, I would, if you have Kelleher, this is the fixture you need to play him. I just feel like that. Highlights Wild. So yeah. Um, Yasin, thanks a lot for sending me your team. Bad rank under 1 million. It doesn't really matter your rank. Again, it was a really strange season from my point of view personally, or at least I was a little bit unlucky, I would say. So yeah, 2 free transfers. Calico, really nice. Bone to Thiago feels like an easy transfer here, and Timber to Van Dijk the same feels like an easy transfer. Other than that, your team is okay. Midfield is okay. Wilson, Rogers, Bruno, Rice. Yeah, I mean Timber to Van Dijk, Bone to Thiago, and your teams is pretty much the same as mine. Uh, that's what I would do, Yasin, if you have the money, obviously. But I think that you have, right? Timber to Van Dijk, Bone to Thiago. It feels pretty easy now. It's funny. It's funny how Virgil van Dijk now it seems like the best defender you can buy. And 2 game weeks ago, if you asked anyone, everyone was saying just sell Van Dijk. He's the worst defender in FPL. So it's really funny how fast things can change in FPL. But yeah, I have to agree with them at the moment. Thanks a lot for following also Swapnil Dakal. So yeah, send me more teams. Send me more teams if you want, guys. I'm going to answer some questions now. Um, don't have funds, bro, for Van Dijk. Yeah, yeah, I know that, Harshi. I know that. In that case, as I said before, Konate, Hill, those are your picks. Anderson, you have Anderson. Fair enough, you have Anderson. So Konate or Hill for Chaloba or for Diouf, whichever one you want to sell. Hi Pargoel, hi Jamie. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining. Also me here, Shetty. Potential difference. A lot of people joining the stream. Really appreciate it. Really good to see you guys. Appreciate the support. Hey Dennis, sorry, I must have missed your transfer plan. What are you doing? Yeah, I posted my team selection video like I do every week. At the moment, I'm leaning towards selling Lacroix to Virgil van Dijk, and Enzo Fernandez to Otara Dango. That's my plan at the moment, but I'm still debating. Obviously, a lot of good midfielders options. I could just go for Harry Wilson. I could go for Soboslai maybe. Kelleher starts then. Yeah, just start Kelleher like me, Helosval. So in case Burnley score against Brentford, we're in the same boat. So that was my plan all along. Sorry, my message didn't go through properly. I have one free transfer. Would you play Kevin Dewsbury Hall or do Enzo to Dango to bench Kevin Dewsbury Hall? Enzo, it's okay to keep Enzo if you have other players who are going to miss Gaming 31. You don't need to force selling Enzo Fernandez because at the end of the day he still have a fixture at least. But probably I would do Enzo to Dango. Probably that's what I'm going to do with my team. Jamie Stravic, I think that he's better than Kevin Dewsbury Hall, but yeah, it's up to you if your team can cope with this move or not. My advice would be, guys, try to not plan to make a lot of transfers in gaming 31 because you have, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 players who are going to blank. Because if possible, I would try to save some transfers. Let's say if you're wildcarding, for an example, in gaming 32, it could be useful down the line. But yeah. Hey Dennis, how's it going? Thanks a lot for asking. Potential difference. Really good. Really good. Hopefully everyone is doing okay. I mentioned you. Please check my team. Yeah, Fast Sport. We're going to do that in a minute. Mihir Shetty, thanks a lot for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. Is it okay to move from Rice Enzo to Wilson Dango? I have one free transfer. Of course it's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, you can do whatever you want with your team. Now, Rice is going to blank in Gaming 31. Enzo has a fixture. So it really depends also who are your other players in your team, how many transfers do you have. Now you have one, but it depends if you can have 11 playing players in gaming 31. That should be the goal for everyone, to try to have at least 11 playing players in gaming 31, to not use the free. And depending on that, yeah, I would sell Enzo to Dango personally because Rice is okay to keep for the next 2-3 and just sell Rice before gaming 31. But if you want to sell Rice now, yeah, it's okay. He is going to blank in gaming 31. It's not like Rice is suddenly Erling Haaland and he's going to score 3 goals every gaming. So yeah, it's okay to sell even both of them if you want, but not for a hit. I was going for the home fixture, but yeah, Burnley is a better fixture. I mean, yeah, I understand that. I have also Dubravka against Brentford at home, but there's no way I'm going to play him ahead of Kelleher. And I appreciate Dubravka is much, much worse than Verbruggen, Herlotswil. Hey, Dennis, what is your planned transfer? Lacroix to Van Dijk, Enzo to Dango, probably. At the moment, this is what I'm thinking. I have 2 free transfers. Bro, start Evan Nilsson, Richards, or Enzo. I definitely wouldn't start Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez, for most of you guys, would be the last on my bench, personally, against Arsenal. And between Evan Nilsson and Richards, I would start Evan Nilsson, for sure. For sure, I would start Evan Nilsson instead of Richards against Man United. Hello, Dennis, what's up? Hi, what is Manji? Thanks a lot for joining the stream again. Really appreciate it. Yeah, asking your questions, doing fine. Thanks a lot for asking. Hopefully everyone is doing all right. I have to deal with Sanchez and Enzo. Just remember, both of them have a fixture in Game 31, so you don't force them out. Hi Cooler, thanks a lot for joining. Where to send team? On Twitter, guys. Here is the team. Here is the link. You have the links also in my description. Just send me your team there under a post on DM or just tag me and I'm going to see the team. Should I sell Raya to Allison with a free transfer? No, I don't think that I would do that. Only Zipper. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. I sold Raya last gaming to Kelleher, so yeah, now I'm going to advise you to not sell Raya. It depends who's also your second choice goalkeeper, because in gaming 31 you can just play that goalkeeper, probably Dubravka, and bench Raya. So I don't think that selling Raya makes a lot of sense personally. And I'm saying that uh, selling also Raya last gaming. So yeah, it sounds a little bit funny now. Playing Munoz, it is a good decision. It's not a good decision, but I don't have any other alternatives. Probably I'm going to end up playing Munoz and benching Alderete. I'm going to hope for a goal at this point. At this point, I'm just going to hope for an attacking return for Munoz against Man United, because I don't think that they're going to keep a clean sheet. But it is what it is. I'm not going to sell both of them, although I could, but I don't really want to play Enzo against Arsenal either. Hi Jack Anderson, thanks a lot for joining. I bought in Tavernier for fun. Should I start Sar over him for this week, or just play Tavernier for probably 30 minutes? Sar played 90 on Thursday, so worried about his minutes and fixture. I think that Sar is going to be fine. I think that he's going to start. He's also maybe going to be on penalties. I think that I would start Sar over Tavernier, because with Tavernier, I'm just not sure. I'm expecting him to be. I'm expecting Tavernier to start either this game week or next game week. I don't know which one is going to be. So for that reason, probably I would just start Ismail Assar personally. But it would not be a surprise for me for Tavernier to start in gaming 28, but probably his minutes are not going to be great either. So you have two players who are on penalties. Probably Ismail Assar is more attacking anyway. It's just that Sar has the weaker fixture there. Benching Mukiele and rolling. Good luck, potential difference. Yeah, Mukiele could be back for gaming 30, gaming 31 maybe, so don't force him up. Hi, what is Manji again? Yeah, I saw your comment. I answered. I'm good. Thanks a lot for asking. Hope you're doing the same. You send me your team. Hello, Dennis. Start Rice or Anderson? I will start Rice, I think, over Anderson from Fulham. I think that, yeah, I will start Rice. I will start Rice for the upside of maybe getting an attacking return from a set piece or something. Hi, Heavy Sound. Thanks a lot for joining. Should I start Ballard or Maino? I would start Ballard, I think, personally. One free transfer, George, Sanchez, Dubravka, Virgil. I would just start Dubravka this game week and bench Sanchez, Virgil, Gabriel, Konate. Good defense. Mukiele is going to be out. Reinildo is still out, I think. Rogers, Bruno, Semenyo, Dango, Wilson, Haaland, Hikitike, Krupi. One free transfer. I think that I would roll if you can bench Mukiele, Reinildo. You're going to bench Mukiele, Reinildo, and Krupi, I suppose. And otherwise, I think that your team is okay, Georgia. I don't think that you should sell Sanchez. As I said before, he's okay. If you can bench him this game week and then play him in the next few game weeks, I think that's okay. I would not use waste a transfer on a goalkeeper probably. So probably I would roll Georgia. So yeah, I have 5 playable backline. Van Dijk, Konate, Gay, Hill, and Gabriel. Should I play all of them and bench Rice? I mean, yeah, you have 5 really good defenders there. Kirari. Surely you have to play Van Dijk, Konate. Surely you have to play. Is Gabriel better than Rice? Probably, yeah. I would say I would play Gabriel over Rice personally, yeah. But it doesn't feel great to bench Rice for Hill, I guess. But still, yeah. Or just play 4. If yes, who do you think starts? Much thanks, Dennis. Personally, I think that's a huge headache. Kirari, I think that surely you have to play Van Dijk, Konate, Gay also. Yeah, you need to play all those 5 defenders, I think. If you need to pick one to not play, probably it's Gay or Hill, but probably Hill. Maybe Rice is better than Hill, I guess. it really depends how you want to play it. Probably Rice is better than Hill now that I'm thinking a little bit about it. He could get some attacking returns. Saliba or Chaloba to bench. I would bench Chaloba because I just think that Saliba is playing in the better defense. That's it. Honey. Thanks a lot, Dennis. Thanks for the insight. Good luck this week. Thanks a lot, Jack Anderson, for joining. Hopefully, I helped you a little bit. Thanks a lot for joining the stream also. We appreciate it. Are you not considering any of the Bournemouth midfielders? All their games are goal fest. I mean, if Tavernier would be 100% fit, I would just go for Tavernier, but I just don't know. I just don't know if he's fit. And also, I like the features for Bramford also. Uh, it's not like Dango or Shade are clear worse picks than Ryan or Tavernier. So yeah, I would like to go for Tavernier. Ryan is also interesting. I just not sure if he's going to play 90 minutes every game week. That's the only problem. Now I'm not sure about Dango either, for what's worth, but yeah. Cherky is the big problem. Thanks. No problem, George. Thanks a lot for joining. Hi, Dennis. Hope you had a good week. Good luck for the weekend. Thanks a lot, XTI 2020. Really appreciate it. Yeah, in terms of FPL, it was a horrible, it was a horrible week for me. But yeah, otherwise, it was fine. Okay, let's move. Let's move and rate more teams, and then we can discuss a little bit more. What is Manji? Send me his team. Made 2 transfers this game week. Bowen to Thiago and Wirtz to Wilson. I like those transfers. Waris, little benching headache. What are your thoughts? Personally, I think that I would start Raya over Roofs. Yeah, I would start Raya over Roofs. Personally, I don't think that Sunderland are going to keep a clean sheet against Bournemouth, and I think that Arsenal have a better chance of keeping a clean sheet actually. So I would play probably Raya over Roofs. Van Dijk, Richards, Chow. Calvert-Lewin, Haaland, Thiago. Yeah, definitely I would start Van Dijk and Chow. Between Richards and Chaloba, I think that I would start Chaloba. I think that both are decent for DEFCON. I think that Chaloba is actually better for DEFCON, so that's why probably I would start Chaloba over Richards. Maybe even a better chance of keeping a clean sheet maybe against Arsenal for Chaloba than Richards against Man United. So yeah, I would bench Richards, Roofs. Other than that, probably I don't know, probably yeah. If you're going to start Raya, you can also bench Enzo Fernandez for Dewsbury Hall, but that's up to you. Enzo Fernandez versus Dewsbury Hall, I think that's a close call. Personally, I would go for Dewsbury Hall, but I appreciate you have Chow, and you don't really want Everton to score. You don't really want Raya to concede. So yeah, but yeah, you don't have anything. Mihir Shetty, Ibrahim, I don't see your team, so make sure you uh, send me your team because yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. So yeah, let's see this team. Verbruggen, Dubravka. Yeah, I would start Verbruggen here. Gabriel, Van Dijk, Hill. Janelt, I guess you have to play Janelt. I don't think that he's definitely he's not better than Dango or Shade, but yeah, if you have Janelt, I think that you need to start him against Burnley. I would try to, yeah, I would bench Enzo, Alderete, and Anderson. Other than that, your first 11 looks great. I mean, Thiago, Haaland, Ekitike is probably the best front line this game week. Mbeumo, Fernandes, Rice. Yeah, your team is good. Mihir Shetty. Nothing more to add. You have 1 free transfer. Probably I would roll if you're asking me what to do. Swappy, Dakal. Whom prioritize transfer out among Enzo, Pedro, Timber Rice, and what are good options for long terms? Considering I do not have a wildcard to use in Gaming 32, so help with transfers. If you don't have a wildcard to use in Gaming 32, Enzo Pedro, I would rather sell Enzo, I think, than João Pedro. Timber Rice, I would do Timber to Van Dijk because Liverpool have good fixtures now and for the foreseeable future, and Van Dijk is a good option. So I would just sell Timber to Rice probably. I would just sell Timber to Virgil van Dijk probably, and if you don't have a wildcard to use, you should prioritize selling, I guess. I mean, it really depends what you're going to do in Gaming 31. Are you going to use the freight? If you're going to use the freight, then you can keep your Arsenal players. If not, you should prioritize selling Timber and Rice before Enzo and Pedro. But with your team, again, I don't see your team here. Dakal, but I would sell Timber to Van Dijk probably, or Hill, or whichever defender you want, and Enzo Fernandez to Wilson because Fulham have, or actually Wilson has Liverpool, I think, in Gaming 32. I would prioritize selling Enzo to Brentford, the midfielder, because they have good fixtures even after the blank gaming in 31. So yeah. Now, did you consider Bruno captain? I mean, yeah, I think it's close. I think it's close between Bruno Fernandes and Erling Haaland, but I just think that I feel more safe with Haaland. I don't think like taking the risk. I had 2 really bad gamings. I'm not sure if I want to take another risk with because I think that the most captain player is still going to be Erling Haaland this gaming. Yeah, Bruno Fernandes is good. Bruno Fernandes is good on penalties. He's playing at home. He wasn't amazing in the last 2, let's be honest, but at home he's better. Yeah, it's really close between Haaland and Bruno Fernandes. Personally, even Ekitike could get into the conversation, but he's not on penalties. So I sent mine too. Can you give me some tips? Yeah, of course, Vukek. Thanks a lot for joining. Also, Wilson Dango Shade. John Vani, if you're asking me which one to pick, I think that Wilson is the safest and probably the best pick from those. Wilson, Dango Shade would be my order. One to buy Wilson. I would just go for Wilson. Now, obviously, it depends on your team strategy. If you're wildcarding 32, go for Wilson. If you're not wildcarding gaming 32, go for Dango. Pretty much that would be my advice, Bjorny. Do you think it's a good idea to start Wirtz to try my luck? Yeah, of course you can start Wirtz, but he's not going to play, not Nepo. Also, thanks a lot for joining. Arne Slot said that Wirtz is not going to play, so I trust him. I trust him. For the Gaming 28 at least, he's not going to play. Sadly, really sad for me. I should have Bowen, Timber, and Mane on the bench. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, but Wirtz, just know that Wirtz is not going to start. So if you want to do Bowen to Thiago, that's really nice. If you want to do Timber to Van Dijk, that's really nice. Also, not Nepo. Cola, start Raya or Martinez. Also, who to captain? I have Haaland and Bruno. Raya or Martinez? I think that I would start Martinez in that case. Who to captain? I'm probably going to captain Haaland, but again, you don't need to captain the player I'm captaining. I think that both Haaland and Bruno Fernandes are really good captaincy options. Just go with the player you feel more safe, let's say. Or, yeah. Gabriel Munoz, Collins, Gehi, start 3. Gabriel, Gay for sure. And between Munoz, Collins, the thing with Collins is I don't know if he's going to start. That's the only problem. I think that I would take the risk with Collins personally. Gabriel Collins Gay. He said probably not going to be ready though. Sell Rice. Yeah, if you want to sell Rice, that's perfectly fine. He's going to blank 31. But he's not a must sell, as I said before. I mean, Shade is perfectly fine, not Nepo, but yeah, Thiago being on penalties just swings it for me. Now I have Thiago, so lucky for me, I don't have these headaches. So let's see. Yeah, Ibrahim, just I don't know. Send me your team again because I got all the teams from all the people, but your team is not here. Vukek. 3 free transfers, 2 millions in the bank. Raya Dubravka, I would start Raya. Gabriel, Anderson, Tarkovsky, Rice, Palmer, Enzo. Okay, so you have a lot of Chelsea players. I would try to sell some of them personally. Uh, Tar- mm. If you can do Mukiele to Van Dijk, Enzo to Dango, probably that's what I would do. Or if not, you could do Mukiele to Van Dijk, Palmer to uh, Palmer to Dango, and Enzo to Soboslai or Ryan, whichever player you want. But I think that I would prioritize selling the Chelsea players, uh, or you could just sell Rice. You could sell Rice to Dango and Mukiele to Van Dijk if you want to do that. If you want to keep your Chelsea players, but yeah. Hi Charlie Bird, thanks a lot for joining. Konate, Wilson and Dango, or Van Dijk, Wilson, Dango and Tavernier. I'd have to bench one midfielder. Rest of attack is Thiago, Haaland, Ekitike, Rogers, Bruno, Mbeumo. Konate, Wilson and Dango, or Van Dijk, Wilson, Dango. If you have to bench one midfielder, I would be tempted, Charlie, honestly, to go for the second one, Van Dijk, Wilson, and Tavernier, because I would not like to bench any of your other midfielders. Rogers, Bruno, Mbeumo, all are pretty good. So yeah, I would go Van Dijk, Wilson or Dango, and Tavernier. Maybe bench Tavernier for this week. Play Munoz or Njae. I would start Njae definitely over Munoz. He's on penalties, better fixture, I think. He's a midfielder, so I think that I would go for Njae. Just play Rice or move to Wilson, Dango for -4. I would just play Rice. I wouldn't sell Rice for -4, definitely. Esther XR. I would just play Rice. Or Charlie, again, if you want to do Konate, Wilson, Dango, that's perfectly fine. But then you're going to bench Rogers, and that doesn't feel great personally. No problem, Vukek. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys, for liking the stream, for subscribing. Really appreciate it. I think for me, Bone might still be useful, but Enzo, I'm completely done with. Yeah, same. Enzo, I don't think that he's done in the sense that at least he has a fixture in Gaming 31 against Everton, which is okay. So if you can bench Enzo and just play him against Everton in Gaming 31, he's okay. But you're right, Bowen probably is a better pick than Enzo. I agree with that. Azoka, also thanks a lot for joining. Did you take into consideration Palace played close to their first choice team? Yeah, and Leeds are in pretty good form at the moment. Yeah, but Palace are not playing against Leeds. Palace are playing against Man United, and I think that Munoz is still going to start anyway. And yeah, with Leeds, of course. I thought about that. I know in the reverse fixture Haran blanked because I triple captained him. But still, Manchester City are in a pretty decent form, I would say. So yeah, I'm still thinking about the captaincy. As you can see, it's a close decision between Bruno and Haaland, but yeah. Um, maybe I'm going to switch the captaincy. I'm not locked in already. Hey Dennis, hi Rudre. I've got Chaloba, Enzo and João Pedro. To transfer available. Good time to make transfers or should roll until next week and prepare for Gaming 31. I have 3 Arsenal players in my team. If you can bench Chaloba, Enzo, and João Pedro, it's fine. But at the same time, if you can do Chaloba to Van Dijk, and if that's going to improve your team, I would just do it and maybe save the other transfer. So you don't need to use both of them. But yeah, it's not great to play Chaloba, Enzo, and João Pedro against Arsenal away. It's not a great fixture. So I would try to not play them at least, if possible, Rudre. Uh, but it's never a bad idea to roll. So does Krupi start? I don't know, Kevin. I wish I got that information. Probably he's going to start, I would say, but you just don't know. You just don't know with Krupi. Tavernier is also back. Ryan is playing good. Would you bench boost with Dubravka, Chow, Timber, and Rice on the bench? Yeah, if you don't. Uh, if you don't want to use the bench boost in I don't know, in a double gaming in gaming 33, I think that bench boost looks pretty okay. Dubravka, Chow, Timber, and Rice, but at the same time, yeah, I don't know. It really depends how your chip strategy you want to adopt later on. It's okay to bench boost with Dubravka, Chow, Timber, Rice, but yeah, I think that bench boost gaming 33 might be better, but we don't know. At the moment, we don't know the teams are going to double. So no, in terms of captaining Bruno versus Palace. Yeah. I got the idea finally, not Nepo. Uh, yeah, I know at the moment that Crystal Palace are all over the place, um, but still. Hi Dennis, do you transfer this gaming, sell Rice or Timber? Uh, I would sell Timber firstly, then selling Rice, I think. Crystal, would you take Pedro out for a hit? Great form, but awful fixture. For a hit, I don't think that I would take him out because after the fixture against Arsenal, you don't mind playing João Pedro. But I agree that the fixtures are not amazing, and if you have the possibility to sell João Pedro, probably that's the best idea. But for a hit, I mean, if you're going to sell João Pedro for a hit for Igor Thiago, I maybe could understand it because it's such a better fixture. So yeah, João Pedro to Thiago, I don't mind. But yeah, João Pedro to other strikers, I don't think that I would take them for a hit. Suba, thanks a lot for joining. Can you please show me your final team for this gaming? I'm going to show you my final team when I'm going to do my transfers, and at the moment we still have 1 hour. So, yeah, I did not make my transfers yet, but probably I'm going to go for Van Dijk and Dango. Your captain for this gaming is Haaland. Yeah, at the moment, George, I'm still thinking a little bit about between Bruno Fernandes and Haaland. At the moment, yeah, my captain is Haaland. Bro, Wirtz will not play. I decided to hit -4 for that. Whom should I pick? Wilson, Mbeumo, or any other option? I mean, if you have other option on your bench, I would not take a -4 to sell Wirtz. Maybe he's going to be back available next gaming. You never know. But if you're sure about taking a hit, Wilson and Mbeumo, I would go for Wilson, I think. Better fixtures. I try tagging you. Tell me your name on Twitter, Ibrahim Ayali, so we can see your team. Hi, Dennis. Could you check your Discord, please? In a minute, Jankster. I have some teams to review on Twitter, and then we can move. Order my bench. Bowen, Timber, Mane. Is it correct? I mean, you could even play Timber. This game is not going to be the end of the world, but let's finish the review, guys. I'm going to come back for the comments. Don't worry about that. Would like to captain Bruno, but don't have the courage. Same, same at the moment. So this is your team XTI. Gabriel, Virgil Hill, Pickford. Nice team. Bruno Rice, Mbeumo Wilson, Thiago Haaland, Ekitike. Yeah. I like the team. I like the starting 11 at least, besides Pickford maybe. But yeah, that's how I would play it. I would bench Bravka, probably I would bench Elliot Anderson, although, yeah, he's going to get those 4-5 juicy points. But yeah, that's okay. Here's my team. Not plan to free gaming 31. Whom to prioritize. So this gimmick, you can play Gabriel, Van Dijk, Hill. I mean, all of your defenders are okay. I would play Dubravka here instead of Sanchez. I mean, you could sell Wirtz here if you want. Other than that, let's say you're going to play Timber, Gabriel, Van Dijk, Hill, Rice, Bruno, Anderson, Enzo, Haaland, Krupi. So yeah, here in your team, I would probably just sell Enzo to a Dango or to a Wilson. You have 3 free transfers. I would sell João Pedro to Thiago. I would sell both of them. Actually, I would sell both of them. Enzo to Wilson, João Pedro to Thiago. Yeah, that's what I would do. And yeah, I would probably maybe bench Krupi. This is you, Ibrahim. Yeah, I see your team now. If this is your team. Yo, start Krupi or Timber. If you think that Krupi is starting, I would start Krupi. Why you sell Timber than Rice? Give me one reason. I think that Timber is more likely to be benched maybe at some point. Now, I think that for what's worth, I think that most likely Timber is going to play all the games. But I think that I would sell Timber because you have a good player in Virgil van Dijk to swap. And other than that, if you want to sell Rice, if you're going to sell Rice to Dango, if you're going to sell Rice to Wilson, I just don't think that's such a huge upgrade personally. That's why I think that Timber to Van Dijk, I think that's a bigger upgrade than selling Rice to a Dango, let's say. Crystal, should I start Timber, Soboslai, or James Hill? I would try to start all of them, but if you have to pick, I think that I would start Timber and Soboslai. Ice Cojones. Yo, start Krupi, Gay or Hill, Dambino. I think that I would start Gay. Wilson versus Dango. Would you have to bench one of them or Rogers or Tavernier for next 4 weeks? I mean, Rogers is pretty benchable if you really want to bench him next game week against United or against Chelsea. So yeah, Wilson versus Dango, I think that Wilson is the better pick, but it's not such a big difference between them anyway. Okay, Dennis, all the best. Let's see what will happen in this game week. Now I'm going to sleep. Good night, Waris Manji. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Really appreciated. Sorry, I don't know how to use Twitter. No problem, Ibrahim. My hell is not a problem. It's not your fault that I didn't get the team. Hi, Mike. Would you do -4 to remove Palmer for Mbeumo? I don't think so. I mean, selling a penalty taker in Palmer for -4 doesn't feel okay. Doesn't feel right, Mike. Ibrahim Ayali, please let me know. Yeah, you have 3 free transfers. So 3 free transfers. Let's see what I would do here. I would sell Timber to Van Dijk. And you have Cherky. Now with Cherky, honestly, I'm not sure. I don't know if he's a starter or not anymore for Manchester City. Probably not. But yeah, Rogers, Rice, Wilson is perfectly fine. If you, I don't know, if you're on a strategy, City are likely to blank Gaming 31. It's not guaranteed yet, but it's most likely. So if you wanna get a team ready for Gaming 31, you need to sell some Arsenal and City players at some point. So what I would do with this team, I don't know, I think a Timber to Van Dijk and maybe I'm not sure what to say about Cherky, because if you want to get rid of Cherky, just do it. If not, sell maybe Rice to Adango or Wilson. Ibrahim, yeah, I'm not really sure what to advise you here to do. Check out my please after this. Yeah, we're going to check all the teams, guys, don't worry. I decided I made my free transfer, Sanchez to Petrovic. Good luck, success, George. That's a good transfer. That's a good transfer, by the way. Bournemouth with decent fixtures. Which gaming is best to play triple captain? Which is the best? Probably gaming 33, because it's going to be a double gaming most probably. But it really depends also if you want to use other chips in that gaming. But Bika Suba, don't worry. Just use your triple captain in a double gaming if possible. Just wait to see when they are going to be announced. Good evening, Dennis. I send you my team. Thanks a lot for joining, Danny Dimitrov. Really appreciated. We're going to take a look at that also. Tanuj Aurora, hey Dennis, 2 free transfers. What to do? I wildcard 31 probably. Okay, so if you're going to wildcard 31, you have 3 players from Arsenal who are going to blank. You have Cherky, Enzo, and Guyu who are problems also in the team. So you have 6 problems, let's say. You need to start selling some Arsenal players, I think. And this is a good week to do it, I guess. Timber to Van Dijk, Rice to Wilson, Dango. You have Wilson already, so Rice to Dango or any other midfielder, Ryan if you want. And then, I don't know, just deal with Cherky, Enzo, and Guyu. Or again, if you could do something like Timber to Hill and Mark Guyu to Thiago. I think that would be actually better for your team to sell Timber to. But the only problem is you have also Senesi, so I'm not sure if you want to double up. But Timber to Hill, Guyu to Thiago, if you can afford that, that would be amazing. But I'm not sure if you can afford that, though. So Tanush Aurora, thanks a lot for joining. What do you think about these transfers possibilities? Mukiele to Hill or Konsa, Enzo to Wilson, Dango, Sobo. I mean, yeah, if you want to sell Mukiele to Hill feels like an easy transfer. I would prefer to go for Hill than for Konsa. And Enzo to Wilson, Dago, Soboslai, all those 3 transfers are pretty amazing. Yeah, as I said before, I think that all these cheap midfielders are really close. I don't think that's such a big difference between them. I think that if I think it through a little bit more, Harry Wilson probably is the most safe one, the smartest transfer to do, considering all other things. Maybe on set pieces, we know that he can take some free kicks. He's nailed for Fulham, so yeah. But also I like Soboslai. If you wanna go different, Soboslai, Dango, all 3 are good. Thanks to many problems. I mean, yeah, you have. Yeah, I try to find the best solution for you, Ibrahim Ayali, but I'm not sure if I have it. The thing is, you can use 2 free transfers now, and you have also 1 in gaming 29, 2. You have you're going to have another 3 free transfers, so you can make 5 free moves. So that's why you need to be careful with what are you going to do, because in most cases I would advise a lot of people to sell your Chelsea players because the fixtures are horrible. But in your case, Arsenal are going to blank, so and maybe also City are going to blank. So the priority for you should be to sell some Arsenal players, to sell some City players. So Timber, Cherky, Rice, and just hope that Reynildo is going to be back also. But I think that the injury is not that bad for Reynildo anyway, so you could still keep him a little bit more. So either you go Timber to Van Dijk, Rice to a cheap midfielder, and maybe move on Cherki next game week or something like that. Cherki needs to be a sell at some point. I think you just can't rely on his minutes. But yeah. QZ, also Joao Pedro plus Enzo to Ekitike and Wilson. That's for free, right? Yeah, your defense is okay. You can play Gabriel, Mateus Nunes, Chow. This game, even Anderson is okay. So Enzo to... Yeah, I like those moves. Nothing to say about that. QZ. I mean, Ekitike after Thiago Haaland probably is one of the most interesting players and forwards to have in FPL. And yeah, Enzo to Wilson. As I said before, I think that Wilson is probably the best out of the bunch. Cheap midfielders. Yeah, I like those moves. Not too much to say about that. Let's see some team predictions. Maybe that's going to be helpful for you a little bit. And then I need to make my moves, guys. So sorry about that, but it's kind of late already. I want to show you the lineup, the predicted lineup for Man City. Maybe that's going to be helpful for you a little bit. So for Manchester City, let me just see. I want to see the Cherki odds here to start from Emma. Yeah, I clicked on City and I got Liverpool. So Cherki 0%. So sorry, maybe I missed something, but yeah, it's not looking like Cherki is going to start this gaming. So yeah, maybe he's a sell after all. Good evening, everyone. Thanks a lot, Simon Lee. Good evening to you. Really appreciate it. Does wildcard on Gaming 30 work? I mean, it does work, but maybe in Gaming 31, in Gaming 32, you will want to have more Arsenal and City players, for an example, or I don't know, Palace players. And if you're wildcarding in Gaming 30, you can have just 3 because they're going to blank in 31. So I'm not so sure how good that works. Ibrahim. Yeah, it doesn't work well. It doesn't work well. I already have Van Dijk. I'm confused. I plan to sell Rice to Dango, but you say not worth it. Lol. Now I'm more confused. I didn't say that it's not worth it. I mean, maybe it's not worth it, but definitely I would rather prefer to have Dango for this game week than to have Rice against Chelsea for what's worth. I just don't think it's such a huge upgrade. Crystal. At some point you need to sell Rice anyway. So yeah, if you can do Rice to Harry Wilson, to Dango, to Soboslai, these are good transfers. Enzo and Munoz to Wilson and Virgil, Hill, Senesi for -4. I mean, I wouldn't sell Munoz for a hit probably. If you can do just Enzo to Wilson, keep Munoz because he has a fixture in Gaming 31 against Leeds. Sorry, in Gaming 30 against Leeds, which is decent. I'm not sure. I don't think that I would. I think that Munoz is not an amazing pick for Gaming 28, but is Van Dijk going to outscore Munoz by 4 points? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. What happens if Munoz is going to score a goal? Cola. Who is the best midfielder to be transferred this week? Bruno Fernandes, if you don't have him. As I said before so many times, Bisuba, Harry Wilson is probably the best from those cheap midfielders. Drum Bandwar, thanks a lot for joining. Got to start one, Joao Pedro, Joaquim Anderson or Munoz. I think that I would start Anderson, then starting Joao Pedro or Munoz personally. I need help. Enzo Lefe and Enzo or Rice start one. I will start. I will start Rice. I will start Rice. Farak. Any other mid below 7 better than Wilson? I mean, I don't think so. I don't think so. Soboslai, Ryan, Dango, all these midfielders are good, but are they better than Wilson? Wilson and Fulham have three home fixtures in the next 4, and also they play Burnley in Game Week 31. So that's why I think that Harry Wilson is probably, considering all things mentioned before, probably he's the best and the safest one from all those midfielders. Kirai, but honestly, Ekitike isn't functioning without Wirtz. Yeah, that's a downside. I wish Wirtz was fit for this fixture, and it's not like Ekitike is not functioning without Wirtz. I'm sure Ekitike can score goals even without Wirtz, but definitely Wirtz just makes Liverpool a better team attacking wise anyway. So yeah, I understand your point. Good evening, Danny Dimitrov. Yeah, going to see your team. Don't worry. I saw your message, but I haven't researched anything for this gaming, so I need your help. Thanks in advance. Just a second. Let me just finish some answers here. Some comments. Start Senesi and Hill or bench one of them for João Pedro. I will start both of them. I will start both of them instead of João Pedro. Dennis, Discord, please. Just a second. Yeah, let's finish with Discord then. Jangster. I know you said team is fine, but is it there a greater upside in this wildcard draft? Also, what changes will you make for... I wouldn't wildcard this gaming personally. I wouldn't wildcard this gaming. I don't think that this is the best moment to wildcard personally. And I would not have Konsa on a wildcard, I think. So your team is really... is fine. I mean, it's not amazing because you have 3 players from Chelsea, but as I said before, I would play Anderson, Senesi, Gabriel this gaming for sure. If you can do, I don't know, Enzo to Wilson, that's perfectly fine. And Raul is also okay for this gaming to play. So the wildcard team is okay. It's definitely better, the wildcard team, obviously, but is it worth it? You have Kelleher on your team, you have Kelleher on your wildcard. You're not changing a lot of things. You're just changing some Chelsea players, some yeah. You don't have Thiago also, which is a down. Again, you could do Timber to Hill, Guyu to Thiago, Enzo to Wilson. So, yeah. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. Dango for Sar, -4. No, I would just play Sar. Thomas Otto, personally, I would not take a hit to sell Ismail Assar, who's on penalties for Dango. Krupi, Timber or Rice to start? I will start Rice. Which plan you suggest? 1. Selling Palmer to Salah and start Evan Nilsson. Sell Evan Nilsson to Ekitike and Palmer to Wilson with a -4. I would suggest you Ayub, the plan with which not involves a -4. So I would go with 1. Palmer to Salah and start Evan Nilsson. That's what I would do from those. Would you transfer in Wilson plus Thiago or Ekitike plus Dango? Wilson plus Thiago, Ekitike plus Dango. Personally, Wilson plus Thiago, I think. Transferring out Pedro and in the midfield either out Rice or Rogers. I would sell Rice instead of Rogers, personally, Ahmed. And I would go with the first option. Shall I replace Wirtz with Wilson -4? If you have another player and you can bench Wirtz this gaming, I would just bench Wirtz and not take the -4 and maybe sell him next gaming for free if you really want to sell him. Sorry, I just thought you didn't see. No problem, Danny Dimitrov. I'm just trying to answer all the questions. Do you think Leno is a good pick? Mm, I mean, he's okay. He's okay, but I'm not sure. I think that Gallagher maybe is better. It's close. It's close. I mean, I would not use a goalkeeper transfer if possible. Ibrahim Ali. I can't stand Sanchez. Personally, I would just keep Sanchez. Enzo to Ryan Good instead of Wilson because I have Raul up front. Yeah, Ryan, Dango, Shade, Soboslai. Even Soboslai could be an option. So yeah, I like them. All these midfielders are really close, Youngster, are really similar. So it's tough to rank them. I just think that Wilson individually maybe is better than Ryan, considering all the things. Hey mate, would you start João Pedro or Munoz? That's a tough one. I think that I would start Munoz personally, but I know that it sounds crazy to say it out loud. Bench one, Pedro, Senesi, or Sar. I would bench João Pedro. I would bench João Pedro against Arsenal away. If there's a game where you can bench João Pedro, this is the one, I think. And you're also going a little bit different against the crowd because a lot of people have João Pedro. But I just don't see Chelsea doing a lot of things. Cheers. No problem, Ahmed. 20 minutes, Dennis. I mean, my countdown is wrong. Let me just stop it. We have more than 20 minutes. Yeah, thanks for mentioning Simon Lee. I have Lacroix and Do. Why do you have Endo? And Rodon in bench. If I want to replace Wirtz, then whom shall I choose? So you have Lacroix, Endo, and Rodon on your bench. Rodon is perfectly fine. If you want to replace Wirtz, Wilson, Harry Wilson, Dango, Ryan, Soboslai, these are the options in that order. Had triple Arsenal, Saliba, Gabriel Timber, had to get rid of Timber for Van Dijk. Do you think I take Saliba on bench for Kadioglu Brighton? I mean, Arsenal are still the best defense in the Premier League. I know that they didn't keep a lot of clean sheets recently, but I would try to play the defenders from Arsenal if possible. But Kadioglu is an interesting one. Maybe I would start Kadioglu over Saliba. Start Rice or Janelt from Brentford. I mean, if you have Janelt, I guess you have to start him. Now, I'm going to be honest here with you. I'm not sure how nailed is Janelt because he was never a player I was considering. So, yeah. But if you know that he's going to start, I will start Janelt probably against Burnley. Should I start Rice or Timber? I think that Rice. I think that I will start Rice. So let's finish with this team, guys. So Danny Dimitrov, 2 free transfers. Timber to Van Dijk feels like a good transfer, but as I said so many times today, Rice, Rodgers, Wirtz, Bruno, Guyu, Haaland, Ekitike. Again, it's the same thing all over again. If you want to sell Wirtz, go Timber, Van Dijk, and Wirtz to Harry Wilson. That's perfectly fine. Or you could go Timber to Hill and Mark Guyu to Thiago. I'm not sure if you can afford that, Dan Dimitrov, but these two options are coming into my mind when I look at your team. Timber, Van Dijk, Wirtz, Wilson, easy transfers, or Timber to Hill, Guyu to Thiago if you can afford that. Probably I would prefer. Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure what I prefer, but you need to sell Timber or Rice or Mark Guyu at some point. FPL Roma, Simon Lee, 4 free transfers already done. Timber to Van Dijk, okay. 3 free transfers left and 0.5 in the bank. What other moves you recommend? So you have 3. Semenyo you're going to keep, Fernandez, Rice, Enzo, probably Enzo to Harry Wilson. And you could do Enzo to Harry Wilson and Chaloba to Hill or to Chow. But if you're going to sell Chaloba to one of them, you're going to bench Munoz. So if you're okay benching Munoz, which is actually fine this week from my point of view, I think that you can bench Munoz if you have a better pick, obviously. So yeah, Enzo to Wilson, Chaloba to Hill, and then just save the other transfer because you need to sell obviously Rice at some point and maybe even Semenyo in gaming 31. Yeah, but again, Enzo to whichever midfielder you want. Harry Wilson, Dango, Shade, Soboslai, all are good picks, guys. Just pick your option because it's not a big difference between them. Okay, so I think that uh, we're done with the teams. Now I can focus a little bit on my team. I did Guyo to Thiago, Cherky to 4.3 mid. That's also okay. If that 4.3 mid is playing, that would be okay. Hi Cheetos, thanks a lot for joining. Hey, I wish you're having a good day. Thanks a lot, Cheetos. The same I wish to you. I wish you to. I did Chalobah to Van Dijk and Virs to Soboslai due to his injury. Perfectly reasonable, Cheetos. Yeah, don't mind that. Chalobah to Van Dijk feels like an easy transfer, and I'm probably going to end up keeping Wirtz and reassessing him next gaming. Hopefully, we're going to get a positive update for Florian Wirtz. But yeah, Kühler, Hedeni start 2, Hill, Krupi, Anderson, or Timber, even still Gabriel and Rice already starting. I mean, I think that I would start Timber ahead of Krupi. Start 2. So start 2, I would start Hill ahead of Krupi probably, and Timber, I think, cooler. How about Enzo plus Rice to Wilson plus Dango? That's also an option. Seemingly, that's also an option. Let me just see your team again. I mean, yeah. Yeah, if you want to keep Munoz, that's also okay. But I just think that, yeah, I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. It really depends if you want to play Munoz or not. I'm not sure if I don't think that Crystal Palace are going to keep a clean sheet against Man United, but yeah. Rice Enzo to Wilson and Dango. Yeah, I like that. Again, Wilson and Dango are two of the best cheap midfielders you can go for. Gaming 31, I'm holding Haaland, Gabriel, and Semenyo. Okay, okay. Yeah, you can do that, definitely. Football League, thanks a lot for joining. Would you make any change? So, Raya, Gabriel, Gay, Konate, Dewsbury Hall, Bruno Fernandes, Sar, Rogers, Haaland, Thiago, Ekitike, bench, Dubravka, Rice, Tarkovsky, Mukiele. So, any changes? I think that I would start Rice over Dewsbury Hall, but it's not such a big difference. Football league, so it's not a big difference between them. But probably I would start Rice if you're going to keep him. If not, if you want to make a transfer, if you want to sell Rice to, since you're benching Rice, you could just sell Rice to Harry Wilson and play Harry Wilson ahead of Dewsbury Hall. Probably that's what I would do. Hi Ropey, thanks a lot for joining. Start 2 of 4 Anderson. Hill and Dango. So start 2. If you have Dango, you have to start him against Burnley for sure. I think that I will start Dango and Anderson from Fulham I would bench. And between Elliot Anderson and Hill, I think that I would go for Hill maybe a chance of a clean sheet for Bournemouth there. So Hill and Dango, ropey there. Please suggest goalkeeper. I get Dvani, a goalkeeper to buy this game week. I mean, Kelleher is a nice entry point to buy him, I guess, against Burnley. One also mentioned Leno from Fulham, 3 fixtures at home from the next 4. Other goalkeepers to buy, I don't think that there are a lot of good goalkeepers to buy, and I would not advise anyone to prioritize making a goalkeeper transfer if possible. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thanks a lot, Ropi, for joining the stream. Really appreciated. Start Rice or Gabriel, hoping for an Arsenal downfall. I mean, if you're hoping for that, just start Rice. But between Rice or Gabriel, I think that I would start Gabriel. He's also decent for Defcon. Gabriel, he could get clean sheet points if Arsenal are going to keep a clean sheet, and he's also maybe even more, not more attacking than Rice, but he has some attacking threat compared to Rice. So I would start Gabriel there. What transfers are you aiming to make? Yeah, I just think that I'm going to do the transfers. My plan was always Lacroix to Van Dijk and Enzo to Dango. As I said before, probably Harry Wilson is the best and safest option, but I feel like I want to go a little bit different. And I think that Dango is the better differential. So what I can do, I'm going to sell Lacroix in this gaming anyway, because I can't play. But actually, yeah, what I can do is to sell Dorgu to Hill. There are some options if I don't want to go for Van Dijk, but I think that Van Dijk is the best one. The best defender you can buy this gaming probably. So yeah, with Wirtz I think that I'm just going to keep him and reassess, wait for more info on his injury. Hopefully he's going to be back soon. I bought him last gaming and I just don't want to sell him now. So that's pretty much the reason why I'm not selling Wirtz. But yeah. Let me just see what I can do. I could sell Dorgu, but is there a reason for me to keep Lacroix? No, because I'm not going to play Lacroix next gaming. I could play Lacroix in gaming 31, but do I want to go for double Crystal Palace defense again against Leeds in gaming 30? Not sure about that. So let me just see. Can I do Dorgu to Van Dijk? Probably not. I mean, I could sell Wirtz to do that, but I don't think that I want to do that. 5.1, yeah. I don't want to buy a 5.1 midfielder, so this is out of the question probably. Let's restore. I could make 2 defensive transfers, but please let me know in the comments down below what do you think is best for my team. To sell Lacroix and Van Dijk to Hill and to sell Lacroix and Dorgu to Hill and Van Dijk, or to sell just Lacroix to Van Dijk and Enzo to Dango. So actually, let me just make a quick poll here on YouTube. So the answer would be oh shoot. Start the poll. Which one is better? So it would be Van Dijk plus Dango or Van Dijk plus Hill. So pretty much that's the question. Which is the better combination to start this gaming? Van Dijk plus Dango or Van Dijk plus Hill? Now, again, Van Dijk plus Dango feels better, right? For this gaming, and I'm just going to delay selling Dorgu. Yeah, now that I think a little bit about it, it doesn't make a lot of sense to go for Van Dijk and Hill. So basically the question is Dango versus Hill. And yeah. Thanks. Munoz or Timber out for Virgil van Dijk? Yeah, that's tough. That's a really tough question. Probably Timber, because I think that Munoz is more immune to rotation, let's say, and we could see maybe Timber rotated at some point. That's the only problem, but yeah, I think that Timber is better overall for the next three than Munoz, considering Arsenal are a much better defense. So it's a tough one, but probably Timber. Hi bro, hi Maverick, thanks a lot for joining. I'm very frustrated about that Wirtz transfer. Yeah, same, Cheetos. Hi Denis, Chalobah out, Virgil van Dijk in thoughts. It's just a really good transfer, Koik, so yeah, not too much to say about that. So yeah, other options for me, I could go for Chow, but yeah, no, let's not fool ourselves. I'm not going to go for Chow when I can go for Virgil van Dijk. Also, as a Liverpool fan, that's an easy decision for me. Although Chow on the Fantasy Football Hub is predicted to score more points than Virgil van Dijk this gaming. But overall, I think that Van Dijk is better. So let's just add Van Dijk here. And then it's about who I want to sell. And the problems obviously are from this front line. I'm not going to touch them. Thiago, Haaland, Ekitike, I like them. It's Wirtz and Enzo, because although I don't feel super excited about having Rogers and Elliot Anderson, they are not priority sell compared to Enzo and Florian Wirtz. So yeah, I'm going to end up selling Enzo, and I have 6.1 millions to do that. I could go for Wilson, as I said before. I could go for Wilson. But I don't know. Dango was always my plan for the last 2 weeks, I think, and I just feel like I want to go for Dango. Maybe it's a mistake, maybe not. I don't know. This season is already pretty bad for me, so yeah, I want to go with the different option. And yeah, I'm just going to let Wilson punish me. I'm just going to let Wilson punish me again, like he's punishing me every gaming. So whoa, Casemiro has a lot of points. I'm just seeing that Casemiro he's the third most with the most points midfielder here, and Elliot Anderson. Actually, this is interesting. Elliot Anderson has 118 points this season, and Harry Wilson has 128. So now here you can just see how a big impact does has DEFCON. Elliot Anderson is outscored by Harry Wilson this season just by 10 points. It's just crazy to think a little bit about it, because Harry Wilson scored so many goals and got so many assists this season. So yeah, I think that they need to do something with DEFCON. It doesn't feel right, but that's another discussion for another day. But from my point of view, it doesn't feel feel right for Harry Wilson to have almost the same amount of points as Elliot Anderson, considering the attacking returns. So yeah, let's just put Dango here. Wirtz, Tumbeumo, I don't mind it. Again, I'm going to keep Wirtz. Maybe I'm going to hope that he's going to be back for Gaming 29, but that's not a guaranteed. So Dango or Wilson, I think that Wilson is the safest and the smartest option, but I want to go different. That's why I'm gonna go for Dango. Should I bench Rice or Chow? If you have Chow, I think that you need to play him. A really good fixture at home for Newcastle, good for DEFCON, good attacking threat also, Chow. Hi Dennis, what do you think to put captain to Rice? Thanks and have a nice weekend and points. Hi David Nekovar. Honestly, I haven't thought at all about captaining Rice. Now, one reason is because I don't have Rice in my team, but I wouldn't be captaining Rice he's going to get DEFCON. Probably he has some attacking threat from set pieces, but I just think that this week, especially Haaland, Bruno Fernandes, Ekitike, Thiago, all are better captaincy options than Declan Rice personally. But again, if you think that he's going to score against Chelsea, then yeah. I agree with you, Maverick. Yeah, Bruno Fernandes is not he's not going to get the same amount of DEFCON playing as a number 10, obviously. Start 2, Senesi, Anderson, Timber, or Raul Jimenez. I would start Timber over Senesi, Youngster, and I think that Timber and Raul. If I'm second in my league by 12 points, should I captain Haaland or Bruno? It doesn't matter, Jack. 12 points is nothing. You can get those points in just one gaming. So just go with, again, which player you think is going to score the most points. Easy. um, but again, if you think that Bruno is better than Haaland, captain him. Hi, I already took a -4 earlier and planning to do -8 as Wirtz is injured. Who should I replace Wirtz with? If you have a player who can play and you can just bench Wirtz, I wouldn't take a -4. That's just my honest opinion. Vine Laramu. But if you want to sell Wirtz, Wilson, Dango, Shade, Soboslai, Mbeumo, all these are good options to buy in midfield. Even Gordon if you want to take a super differential. Captain Bruno or Haaland, don't want to trust Haaland versus Leeds. Then Rudresh, if you don't want to trust Haaland, then just Captain Bruno. I think that is a good captaincy option. So let me just finish my transfers and be done with it. Kratu Van Dijk, Enzo Tudango. Confirm. Let's just play Wirtz for the vibes here. And Van Dijk instead of Alderete. Let me just put Henderson here. So Gabriel, Van Dijk, Munoz. Actually, again, I'm playing Munoz over Alderete, which maybe could be a mistake. I would not surprise if Alderete is going to get defensive contributions against Bournemouth, but I just want to go with the most attacking defender in FPL. So yeah, this is probably going to be my team. Dango or Shade or Semenyo, rank from best to worst. Dango or Shade or Semenyo. Now, I can rank them, but I also don't know what you're going to do with Semenyo in Gaming 31. Because if Semenyo is going to be a problem with you, for you in Gaming 31, then don't go for Semenyo. Between Dango and Shade, I think that personally I will go for Dango for the safety, but both are the same thing. It's just like Dango is cheaper, so I would go for Dango. And I think that Semenyo is probably the best one. If we're talking about who's the best pick, probably Semenyo, but he's blanking also in Gaming 31. Do you like Timber to Maguire and Mane to Thiago? I mean, rather than going for Maguire, personally, I would go for Hill, Chow, not Senesi, maybe. You got my idea. So I would go for Hill, Anderson, or Chow than to go for Maguire, but Maguire is also okay, but I just think that, I don't know, Hill makes more sense. Mane to Thiago, I really like it. Yeah, Mane to Thiago is a good transfer. Magangra. So yeah. Hi Dennis, here again. Ask for a question earlier about Munoz to Van Dijk for -4. Planning my FPL now, and I see that if I don't sell Munoz, I have 6 players blanking with 3 free transfers by game week 31. Do I still hold? Yeah, because if you're not going to sell Munoz for a hit this game week, you can always just sell Munoz in game week 31. It's not a problem. You can carry 5 free transfers, so it doesn't matter when are you going to do those transfers. The blank is going to be in game week 31. So yeah, I wouldn't take a hit to sell Munoz to Van Dijk personally. You can always sell Munoz for free in any given week before game week 31 cola. So yeah, it doesn't matter. If you're going to have 6 players blanking by game week 31 and you're going to have 3 free transfers, you can sell 3 and have 11 players playing. So yeah, you got that idea. Wilson versus Timber this week. I think that I will start Wilson. I think that I will start the attacker, but it's really close. Tenzing. Should I start João Pedro over Timber or Hill? As I said before, Ice Cojones, I think that I would not start João Pedro personally. I think that I would start Timber, but that's just my opinion. Soboslai for -4. It depends which player you're selling for that -4, but I don't think that I would. I don't think that I would buy Soboslai for -4 now. If you're selling, I don't know, someone like I don't know, an injured player. If you're selling an injured player to Soboslai for a hit, then yeah, it's okay. Is Shade a good pick this week? Yeah, for sure. All the Brentford players are good picks this week. Dango, Shade, Ryan from Bournemouth, Soboslai, Wilson, all these midfielders are good picks. Belmore, Ekitike, the Wind Pawns to buy. If you want to buy one, I would buy Ekitike. Hello FPL Dennis. Hi Omar. Thanks a lot for joining. 1 free transfer and 0.9 minutes. Thought on Broby to Raul. I wouldn't buy Raul because he's not going to get good minutes now that Muniz is back. So your bench is Chow. I would start Chow, definitely. I would try to start Chow there in your team. But yeah, I don't know in which place. Probably I would start Chow instead of Maguire personally, or actually I would start Chow instead of Enzo Fernandez, and just roll and deal with Broby next game week. I don't think that Raul is a good pick. I mean, he's most likely going to start the games, but with Muniz being back, he's going to play 60 minutes in some games. Bench 1, Hill Gabriel, Elliot Anderson, Cash. Hi, Handsome Ghost. Thanks a lot for joining. Bench 1. I think that I would bench Elliot Anderson. I would bench Elliot Anderson. I want your opinion about something. Please, would you start Krupi or Anderson Fulham? I want to give a good opinion, cheetahs, but the thing is with Krupi, I would not be surprised if he's going to be benched. I would not be surprised if he's going to start. If you're okay with the risk of Krupi, I would definitely start him because it's a good fixture against Sunderland at home. But if you want to go safe, just go with Anderson against Spurs. It's okay also. Start Anderson, defender, or Munoz? I will start Anderson, the defender, probably, then Munoz. Captain, thank you. Good luck. Thanks a lot, Tomawar. Good luck, everyone, this gaming. Hey, matey. Hi, Mr. Blanky. Thanks a lot for joining. Also, this is going to be a shorter stream. I think that I'm going to end it before looking at the teams for Aston Villa and Wolves, because I have to drive a little bit after the stream. So yeah, it's not going to be. Can I captain Thiago or Shade? You can captain whichever player you want, but if you want to pick between those two, I would captain Igor Thiago. But I think that, again, probably Haaland and Bruno Fernandes are safer picks. Start João Pedro or Anderson. I would start Anderson. Elliot Anderson or Nico O'Reilly. I would start Nico O'Reilly for sure. 8 minutes till the deadline, guys, so make sure you lock in your teams. Should I captain O'Reilly? Probably not, the Spirographer. Again, if he's going to score 2 goals, then yeah, probably you should captain him, but yeah, I wouldn't risk it. Thanks all, guys, for joining. 20 people also at the moment on the stream. Please consider leaving a like, hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. Check also the memberships. If you want to support the channel even more, it would be really much appreciated. And yeah, we have 7 minutes till deadline, so make sure you lock in your teams. I'm pretty much locked in with mine, so yeah, this is going to be my team for this game week. Captaining Bruno or Haaland. I think that I'm going to go with Haaland. Maybe it's a mistake, maybe not. Maybe I should go a little bit more different, but yeah, I'm going with the robot. Today. I already got Wilson and Thiago, so it's between Dango or Soboslai. Hi Brienne, the Cynic. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Really good to see you here. I'm not sure if you're new on the channel, but thanks a lot. So we have Wilson and Thiago between Dango or Soboslai. I mean, Ryan is also a good one from Bournemouth. Yeah, but yeah, if you don't want to double up on Brentford, you could go for Dango. Again, Soboslai and Dango. Try to, I don't know. For me to try to rank those, I think that the safest one is Soboslai because he's on set pieces. He's going to play 90 minutes every gaming. I think that I would go for Soboslai now with the Wirtz injury. I think that he's going to play a much more advanced role. So probably Soboslai, but both are good. Bench Hill, Anderson, or Richards. I would bench Richards for sure from Crystal Palace. Please, Nico or Elliot. I will make change definitely. Nico or Elliot. Who to play? I would start Nico O'Reilly. Maverick, Kamal. Good luck this weekend, Dennis. Thanks a lot, Stuart Fletcher. Good luck to you also. Really appreciate the support for all of you guys. Have a nice weekend also. Love to the family, and may green arrows follow us around this weekend. Hopefully it's going to be as you said. Stuart, thanks a lot for joining the stream. Start Dubravka or Sanchez? I will start Dubravka probably. 5 minutes, guys. Good evening, bro. Hi, Kaiser. Thanks a lot for joining. Rice and Enzo to Saka and Ryan. Okay, I didn't heard the name Saka for such a long period of time. Anderson or Munoz? Probably I would go for Anderson against Tottenham over Munoz. So I would play Anderson and Rice and Enzo to Saka and Ryan. I mean, I don't think that I would buy an Arsenal player because they're going to blank Gaming 31. So selling Rice to another Arsenal midfielder doesn't make a lot of sense to me, Kaiser. Or maybe if you're free in Gaming 31, maybe you can do that. But I like Ryan. I like. Hopefully Riley will keep clean sheet. Yeah, good luck, Joe Hassan. Maverick, sorry. Good evening. Yeah, it is worth starting Wirtz over Hill or Anderson if I hold. Wirtz is not going to play. I'm starting him just for the memes. Wirtz is not going to start. So I'm going to get Anderson. So doesn't. It's not going to matter. Adam Dine. You should just start Hill or Anderson. I'm starting Wirtz just for the memes. He's not going to play. I've got Bessie. What's your thoughts? Cheaper than Anderson? I mean, he's okay. Honestly, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that Anderson is a little bit better for defensive contributions. But if you have Bessie, just keep him and hope that he's going to start all the games. So yeah, it's not. It's not a problem. One minute, guys. Make sure you lock in your teams because we are almost done with the stream. Let me make sure my team is. Bench 1, Dewsbury Hall, Palmer, Mane, Rice. I would bench Mane. I would bench Mane and play Dewsbury Hall, Palmer and Rice, FN, but make those moves fast because it's done. João Pedro, Hill, Anderson for start. Start 1. I will start Hill. Then Anderson, then João Pedro. But make sure you lock in the teams. Yeah, my team is. And the deadline has passed. Alright, guys, I rested Anderson and played João Pedro. Okay, I mean that's not great. I would definitely play the Anderson, but good luck, Maverick. Good luck, everyone. Arif, Adam Dine, Maverick, Josh Hassan, Blanky, Stuart, Brian. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining. We're going to end it here. But thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. I need to drive, so I'm not going to stay any longer. But yeah, good luck everyone for this game week. Hopefully, finally we can get the green arrow. Thanks a lot for joining me on the stream. Really appreciate the support. And yeah, I guess that's it. Good luck again. Have a nice weekend with your friends, family, loved ones. And I'm going to see you next time. We have another deadline real soon, so make sure you